be accepted.
Not at all.
It's a shock for all nations.
Right. So now how does all that make you feel? We've got two black people in the most powerful position in the world,
Can't do that.
and they can't be themselves. You know, we've got issues with the president's middle name and things like that, and then we've got issues
About
with,
her wearing sleeveless.
right, I was just about to go there, wearing sleeveless tops and being buff and showing, you know, that she's healthy. You know, so you guys see where I'm coming from. There's a lot that goes in to being natural, and it really starts to come down to what your confidence level is. Okay, so now we start talking about the Black Revolution. Okay, yes.
I guess I'm questioning when you parallel confidence with how one wears one's hair, because I think there's a matter of choice. I think we have choices whether or not society dictates what we should do. For some of us in this room, we wear our hair naturally because we made that decision.
Right.
So when you refer to Michelle Obama, do you think she should? The real question is, do you think she would? Do you think she wants to? Do you think she is black conscious like that? So you have to step back before you make those end statements to say she can't because society may not accept it. It probably never crossed her mind.
Yeah.
So, you know, there's a bigger issue. Just to introduce the fact that this is big picture thinking.
Right.
Is what
And I'm
we
glad
need
that
to
you
do.
said that, because that's what I want to do with this class, is to cause people to start to think about some different
And
things.
you have to, because you just can't say because I'm black I should wear my hair black, because there is nothing that says you have to.
Right.
It is choice, which is our freedom, of course, and we get to make those decisions. And of course, society has made us think and feel a certain way of being inferior if we don't look like a certain way or say things a certain way, etc. But it still all comes down to choice, preference. You have options in this world.
Exactly right. And I'm going to get into the confidence thing just to kind of clear up where I was going with it a little bit later.
Okay.
Yeah, so hold on to that thought. But I do agree with what you just said. Okay. So here's a question. Do you think that, and I'm calling it a revolution for lack of a better word, but I've never seen this many natural people, just me personal, in one place at one time. I'm having a great time today because everybody just looks so beautiful, whether they're wearing it flat ironed or whether they're wearing it, you know, curly or with the weave or whatever it is. I mean, it's just nice to know that everyone is on the same page as we're in the building today. But do you think that it's because that things like this are happening because we've got a new appreciation or a regained appreciation for our blackness? Do you think that as we're thinking about where we came from as with the slavery days, that people are starting to recognize the power within that we have and that this is who we are? Or do you think it's more of a spiritual awakening? You know, I've spoken to some people and asked, you know, why did you make the transition from wearing it straight to locking your hair? Why, you know, cutting it off, or why did you do that? And some people have told me, you know, it was a spiritual choice. You know, I started looking deep down inside myself to find out who I was, but I couldn't do that until I found out what my hair was. And I said, okay, that's interesting. I can see that, okay? Or do you think it's associated with our increased achievements that we're having in society? We've got more people coming to the forefront that look different, you know, straight hair, curly hair, short hair, long hair, whatever it is. So we're starting to see more people in the media. That's part of it. Or do you think that it's just we've got a higher sense of self now, that we're able to appreciate where we are, where we've come from, where we're going, and so now people are more willing, you know, to look quote unquote natural. I keep putting that in quotes because it's just how we are, but now natural isn't the norm, so I keep putting that in quotes because that's just me. Or do you even think that there's an increased visibility of stars, like take for instance Jill Scott, you know, wearing naturals, and now we can see them more, so is that just being more accepted? You guys have any thoughts?
I think all the points you said were point of the equation. I'm a licensed hairstylist, cosmetologist, and I work in every field: facials, manicures, pedicures, and also the hair. And I think I started about 2 years ago. I'm from St. Louis, Missouri. I started having my clients start coming in, and you slowly start them kind of pulling away from getting in regular touch-up to saying, well, can we just flat iron it to, you know, they had to get a feel of what their hair was. And I think with that, then came that confidence level, and then they start looking into deeper into themselves our generation, we come from pressing the hair and all that. You start thinking, well, you know, I could press my hair, and when I wasn't pressed, it was okay. And then the world is also changing, and I think for a confidence level, it boosts you to do that, to go that route. For the natural hair, I think a lot of women just all of a sudden then they become, it's a spiritual thing.
Okay.
For me, it became, I wanted to be healthy inside and out. And I actually, for one whole month, and I looked at my hair, because I'm going through transition.
Okay.
I looked at my hair, and I was like, my hair is not as healthy as I know it could be. And I think women in this room, they have children. I know when you were pregnant, you saw how beautiful your hair was. It was shiny. It might not have been as long as you wanted, but it just looked healthy. As you glowed, your hair glowed. And I said, I wanted that back. And for a whole month, I stopped eating meat.
Okay.
And I drank distilled water, I took my vitamins, and I felt better. My hair, it was like totally different. And everything in your body goes to your scalp.
Right.
And people don't believe that. So sometimes you think you can mask whatever the problem is on the outside is the inside. And I think for me, that was like my spiritual thing. Say, okay, I need to make a change. And from that, it just opened up other doors to other things, you know. It just
Awesome.
It's just like a little circle, 360 degree.
Right. It all comes
Wake up
back.
call.
Okay. All right. Anybody else have any thoughts on that before I move on?
Just, like she said, it depends, everybody does it for a different reason. And for me, having girls, I didn't want to send them mixed messages. Because I've been told by some moms who say, well, Mom, you get your hair relaxed, so why can't I get mine relaxed? And you want to keep their hair healthy, you want to keep their hair strong.
Right.
The same way you emphasize feeding them vegetables for their inside body, then you also want them to have that high self-esteem and not feel like, oh, I need to look like the ones on TV. And for me, having girls and what they see on TV is what they call beautiful, is their hair black. So I'm constantly struggling to say, let's go to the hair show to see if we can see. But for me, it was, I wanted them to see me and not send them a mixed message. Because Oprah had a show on about a girl who had low self-esteem. And it wasn't because her mom said that she always told her she was attractive, she was pretty, she was intelligent, but the child listened to her mom talk about herself. And so that's where it came from. So for me, like she's saying, sometimes you enter into it for a different reason, and then you say, okay, I want to be healthy, I want to be strong, and that makes you beautiful. My husband was very supportive. He still says, I'd rather see you with the natural than, and I met him, I was relaxed. So that has a lot to do with it too. So there's different reasons, and you have to do what makes you happy, no matter what it is.
Right. No matter what it is.
Especially when you got the support of your husband.
Yeah.
Is he black?
She had that.
I take black man look at my hair and it just, maybe if it looks.
Turns them off.
Yes. Some of them.
Because why?
Because
Because they love to
they
run
like
their
this-
fingers through it. They see it on TV. They love to run the fingers through the hair, right? And they can't get. They don't want to get straight in that neck.
The curls.
See, but they don't know
They'll
all our
transition
hair
to
is the same. It feels different
But again, it's a mental thing. It's an educational thing. It's an awareness thing. It's
But
a
their hair is
societal
nappy.
thing.
Aren't the black man's hair nappy?
Yeah, it's like me. My reason for being natural. I mean, like she was talking about her kids. I'm from the Caribbean originally.
Yeah.
People's hair were natural, and it was no big deal. And as the Western influence took over, then people started perming, and I permed, and I went natural. And before I put braids in, I had an afro for 10 years. I've been natural since '93, but